Hi everyone. So now let's continue to discuss on JUnit 5 assertions. And in this lecture we will discuss about assert throws method. So here you can see assertions API provide static assert throws method. So this method basically helps us in testing of our negative scenarios. Let's say for a given input, if our code throws any exception, then we can validate that exception using assert throws method. So here you can see the assert throws takes in an executable, which is a function interface that has some code which gets executed and it might throw an exception. So here assert throws takes in an executable which can throw an exception of the expected type, and this assert throws method also returns the exception. So we can use this return exception and test our negative scenarios. So as we know that assert throws takes in an executable, and whatever the code is present in executable may throw an exception of the expected type. So the second parameter to assert throws is of type class, where we provide that what exception will be thrown. So if no exception is thrown, or if an exception is thrown of a different type, then our assert will fail. So let's say we have piece of code which throws say runtime exception. So we'll provide the class of runtime exception in our assert throws method. But if that exception is not thrown or any different exception is thrown, then our assert will fail. And if the same exception is thrown, then our assert will pass. Also friend, this method follows the inheritance hierarchy. So the assert will pass if the expected type is parent class and the actual is the child class of it. So what we mean by it, let's say to assert throws we provide the child exception, and if our executable throws the parent of this child class, then also our assert will pass, because assert throws follows the inheritance hierarchy among the exceptions. So now let's see the overloaded methods of assert throws. So here you can see that assert throws, it takes a class of an exception which we are expecting it to throw. And here you can see the assert throws also has return type, which is nothing but the exception thrown. So this is the first overloaded method. The second overloaded method takes in a class of the type of exception thrown, the executable, and our customized string message. So whenever our assertion fails, we will get an assertion failed error along with a customized message which we have provided into this method. The third overloaded method takes in a class of type of exception thrown by the executable, and it also takes the supplier function interface which supplies the message of type string whenever our assertion will fail. So the only advantage of using the supplier function interface is that it gets lazily evaluated to a string only when our assertion fails. So friend, let's go to Eclipse and see the demonstration of assert throws method. So friends, let's see the demonstration of assert throws method. So in our JUnit 5 project, in the src folder, here I will be creating one class as book not found exception. I will keep it in a package exception. So here I am keeping it in a package of exception because this is our customized exception by name book not found exception. I'll click finish. So here book not found exception will extend runtime exception. So into this book not found exception class, I will create one constructor which takes in a message that we want to throw whenever this exception comes. So here I will simply call super and pass the message into it. So here book not found exception is our customized exception which will be thrown whenever a book is not found. And when we throw this exception, we will provide a message along with it. So if we go to book service class, let's say I provide here a method which will return a book, and instead of book ID, I will pass the title. So here I will search the title into list of books, and if the title is found, I will return the book, and if the title is not found, I will throw an exception saying book not found exception. So I will simply copy this method and I will paste it below. We'll change the name as get book by title, and instead of book ID, I will take a title. In our if condition, instead of book ID, we will check it with the title of the book. So here we will iterate the list of books and we'll compare the title of the book with the title which we provide as an input, and if that matches, we'll return the book. And if the title doesn't matches with any of the book, then at last we will throw book not found exception, and here we'll provide a message as book not found in bookstore. So friends, here you can see that our method get book by title takes in a title of the book, iterates our list of books and searches for the title by comparing it with title of each book. So if the title matches with any of the book, that would be our happy path scenario where we return the book. And if the title is not found in our list of books, we throw in book not found exception. So this is our negative scenario where an exception is thrown. So when we do unit testing, we also test for the negative scenarios where the exception is thrown. So now let's go to our test folder and we'll see how we can test the exceptions thrown from our code. So here in test folder, I will create a class assert throws demo. We'll keep it in a package. Let's say exception. We'll click finish. So friends, in one of our previous lecture, we discussed about assert equals method. So in assert equals demo class, we created our test data. So I'll just copy this test method and we'll reuse in our assert throws demo class. So I will just paste it here. So here first we will see the demonstration of assert throws with no message. So I will rename the test as assert throws with no message. So friend, as we want to test get book by title method of book service class, First we will create the instance of book service, and then we have created 2 books, and we have added those 2 books by calling add book method. So after adding these 2 books, list of books will have 2 books with an ID 1 and 2. So friends, now let's test the negative scenario where we pass a title which is not present in list of books. So here we will call get book by title method, and let's say we pass the title as Head First Spring. So here we know that Head First Spring is not present in the list of books. So we expect that an exception should be thrown, which is book not found exception. So this block of code will act as an executable in our assert throws method. So we'll simply call assert throws method. We'll import it. So the first parameter is a class of type of exception thrown by the executable. So here we know that we want to test book not found exception. So we'll provide this class, and the second parameter is our executable, which is the call to get book by title method. So I'll just cut it and paste it here. So friends, here we have provided an assert throws, and we are calling get book by title method by passing in a title Head First Spring, which is not present in our list of books. So we expect that an exception should be thrown by name book not found exception. So if I run the code now, so here you can see our assertion got passed because this get book by title method threw book not found exception. So friend, let's say we provide a wrong expectation. Instead of book not found exception, let's say we give that it throws null pointer exception. So here we know that get book by title throws a book not found exception, not the null pointer exception. So here the type of exception we have provided is different from what it will be thrown from get book by title method. So if I run the test case now, so here you can see our test case got failed with an assertion failed error. So here it gave a message unexpected exception type thrown. Expected was null pointer exception, but was book not found exception. So friend, this was the first overloaded assert throws method. So now we will see the demonstration of second overloaded method of assert throws. So I'll just copy and paste it below. We'll give the name of the test method as assert throws with message. So friends, here scenario remains the same. The only change we do here is we provide a customized message. Let's say we provide a message as different exception thrown. So this is our customized message. So if I run the test case now, so here you can see our test case got failed with an assertion failed error. It also printed the customized message saying different exception thrown, and then it printed the message which we saw in our first test case, that is unexpected exception type thrown, expected was null pointer exception but was book not found exception. So friend, this was a demonstration of second assert throws overloaded method. Now let's see the demonstration of third assert throws overloaded method. So we'll give the name of this test method as assert throws with message supplier. So the test scenario remains the same. The only change we do here is instead of direct string, we provide a lambda expression for the supplier function interface. So the only advantage of providing the supplier function interface is that it gets lazily evaluated to a string only when our test case fails. So if I run the test now, you can see our test case failed with an assertion failed error, which is exactly the same what we saw in our second overloaded method. So friends, here we saw the demonstration of assert throws method and its overloaded method. So let's say if we change null pointer exception to book not found exception, and if I run this test class, you can see our test case got passed because we expected that book not found exception should be thrown and get book by title through book not found exception. So friends, in our slide we also saw that we can even assert it with the parent exception. So here if we provide runtime exception also, then also this test case will pass. Because assert throws follows the inheritance hierarchy while asserting the exceptions, and here we know that runtime exception is parent to book not found exception. So therefore our assertion got passed. So we'll change it back to book not found exception. And also friends, we know that assert throws has a return type of the type of exception it throws. So what we can do here is we can even catch the book not found exception. So if the exception is thrown, just below it we can even assert the message inside the exception. So here what we can do is, if we go to our book service class, here you can see that we are throwing book not found in bookstore. So this is our message. So here if we want to assert even the message of thrown exception, we can even refer book not found exception, and just below we can even assert that our expected type is book not found in bookstore, and here we can call the get message. So if I run the test case now, you see our test case got passed. So here you can see assert throws has a return type of the type of exception which we provide here. So we can even catch the exception and we can provide more assertions on the top of what we got. That we can even provide assert even on the message what this exception throws. So friend, in this lecture we saw the demonstration of assert throws method. We also saw the different overloaded versions of it, and we also saw how it can support the inheritance hierarchy, and we also saw that it returns the type of exception we provide as a class here, so that we can apply further assertions on the type of exception thrown. So friends, I hope you liked this video. Thanks, have a nice day.